Good morning, YouTube. Today I'm working again on the KE100 Kawasaki 1997, and we're going to do the front forks. I already have the front wheel off from the other day. To get it off, you have a bolt here, a constriction clamp, and then a bolt back here on the top. So you have the top of the triple tree and the lower of the triple tree. And this is a 14 and this is a 12 millimeter. All right, so I'm going to take them off and we're going to start pulling them apart and see how they look. I'll be back. Okay, so I have the forks out, and I'm just going to give you a little piece of advice. You may not have, see, this is where you use a 1/2-inch socket to open it up and you get the spring out. But this one had these rubber caps basically in there like that. Get yourself a pick and get them out so you're not hammering on them to get the forks out. That way they're not damaged. Okay, so I just picked it out. They just pop right out. These were pretty solidly stuck inside the triple tree. So get yourself a socket that'll fit nicely on the top, rubber mallet, and bang them down and until they break free, and then just pull them out. So I've got the bike still sitting up here, and take the screws all the way out too. I took them out halfway and let them sit there, and I could not get those things to move. So I opened it up so that there was no pressure on the clamps. And so now we have them out. Make sure you see where on the bike they sat before you take them out. These were flush with the top part of the triple. So I know exactly where they're going to go back in. But if yours is a different height, make sure you measure that so that you put them back at the same height. And you can always adjust to your ride, like, you know, whether you want them down a little lower so the bike sits lower, you want them all the way up like this was all the way to the top so the bike sits a little higher. All right, so now we're going to start disassembling. You need a 1/2-inch ratchet, and you just put that right in there. I would suggest putting these in a vise, wrap them in a towel, or if you have some rubber blocks, I have rubber blocks, and you can put them in the vise grip and then take those things out. Okay, so that's the next step. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. If you have some rubber, like you could take a rubber gym mat or something, cut it into pieces. I have all these different pieces of rubber that I can use so I don't scratch forks or other parts, metal parts that I need to put in a vise grip. So put this in the vise grip and tighten it up as tight as you can get it. And you want to get this loose. So I tried with my 1/2-inch by hand, and it was just, this probably hasn't been taken apart since 1997. So I put my impact, my what do you call it? Impact wrench in there. This is a 1/2-inch. And you don't want to go crazy. You just want to use the hammer action just to break that seal. And so it did. Now I can just take it out by hand. All right. So that's the first step. And this is what we got come out of it. Just pure nastiness. So here's your spring. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on the dust shield and the other parts in there, the clamps, the C clamp that holds it together. But this is let it drain, and we'll clean it out with some brake clean. But make sure you have some kind of container to put work on them, because they're going to be nasty inside. So you have something so you don't get it all over the place. All right, next step. Okay, so recap. This is what we got out of it, right? And there's one I still have to work on. So that one's sitting there with the top off, spring out, but still in. This is the other spring. I still have to clean that. All right, I've cleaned the top tube, as you can see. Make sure you get some brake parts cleaner. and go through this stuff really good. I clean this up. There's a ring right here. It's a C-clip, and that's what everything sits upon. Okay, and I'm going to show you the order of the removal and then reinstallation. So this sits inside here, okay, and it slides down all the way in. This one also I cleaned up. Looks like someone's done this before. They really beat the crap out of the lip here. Make sure this is an adjustment. I don't know what you call it. It's a giant screw. You can see it's like a Phillips head on it. I don't know. Let's see if okay. I already put a lot of brake clean in here, flushed it out about 3 or 4 times. So, all right. So from the top of this is your release nut, release bolt, whatever you want to call it. You take that out of there. You pull your spring out. Okay. Next thing is, there's retainment clip, this C-clip. This C-clip sits in this ridge in here. Okay? So get yourself a pick and just pick it out of that I don't know if you could see it that good. Yeah, right there. That's the recess that this sits in, okay? So that comes out. This is below that. This is your oil seal, okay? Make sure the spring side goes down. Okay, the spring side is going to go inside facing down. So this is the order. So this is the way it goes in. All right, this on top of this on top of this. And then you have like this giant metal wash or metal ring. Okay, this sits on the bottom like that. So this sits inside here like this, goes into this lip right there like that. Okay, that. Then this is the old one. So this, with, like I said, with the spring side down like that, and this on top like that, and then this inside there, and all of that fits inside here. Okay, and it starts here. So on this retaining clip here, this C clip here, don't take it off, just clean it, just leave it on there. This sits on there like that, and then that sits inside here. All right, and then your dust cover, this is the old one, the dust cover, your wiper and dust cover, it's all in one, goes in this groove here on the outside. So we have new parts, Kawasaki parts. Here's the dust cover, here's the oil seal. I got new clips because I didn't know what kind of shape the clips were in, so it's better to get them, and instead of waiting another week for parts, just get them. They're only like $5 or $6. All right, and then I got a new O-ring to go on here. So we're gonna replace all the seals. So that's everything. We're gonna put everything back together again, and then I'll come back on and I'll tell you the how much oil to put in there. All right, I'll be back. Okay, I wanted to film it before I put it in. Okay, so we have, here's that ring I said again on the top shaft. Put this down. Make sure you can see the spring inside there, spring face down. Then you put that on top of that, like that. Okay, now we're gonna have to put that inside here, and then we'll have to put the clip on. I'm gonna use a new clip, but I wanted to show you everything before I did it. All right, next step. Okay, so we have it all back together again. We've got the dust cover on. All the parts are inside here. I'm gonna tell you this, that putting this seal and getting it inside this cup was a bear. Okay, you're gonna need the right tools in order to do it. I have this kit. This kit is for driving in the seals. And I don't know if it has a model number anywhere. I don't see a model number anywhere. You can find it, I found it on Amazon. So just look for fork seal driver kit. And you're gonna have to use the 35-36, and it doesn't fit just right. You're gonna have to just take it and angle it in so that it fits down in there. And then just move this around. You can only use one because, like I said, it's not the right size, so it's not gonna fit. And then just move it around, and then use a rubber mallet and bang it down, and then move it around and bang it down and move it around. And you're gonna have to keep going around maybe 5 or 6 times. But it's a good investment. And this is the driver head. But like I said, this thing is made for like you know, sport bikes and big dirt bikes with giant forks. This bike has little baby forks. So anyhow, so that's in. The C-clip, this is the old C-clip. New C-clip is in there, new dust cover. And then I just wanted to go over the spring before I put it in. If you look at this spring, this is the other one. I didn't take it out. All right, the part that has the coils getting tighter and tighter go to the top. The part where the coils are even goes to the bottom. So if you can see, you see how the coils get tighter? Just like that one. The coils are tighter and then they get lighter or open up. So this is the top of the fork. So this part goes into the top of the fork. Just like this. Down in there like that, all right? And then I'm gonna close it up, and then that'll be the end of it. I'll show you how to reinstall them into the bike. I almost forgot the most important part of the whole process is putting in new fork oil. I got 10 weight. I split the difference. You can get 5 weight, you can get 15 weight. I got 10 weight. So this is what the new oil looks like. All right, that's the new oil. You remember what the old oil looked like? That's what the old oil looked like. So we're gonna put this in. It's 182 cc's. I know it's a weird number, but that's what it is. 182 cc's plus or minus 4 cc's. So what I did is I have the fork in a vise. You get yourself a set of little funnels, and then we're just gonna pour it in. And this is 185. I just rounded up. And that's what my, whoop. Oh, well, I didn't wait long enough. All right, that's down in there. I'm gonna have to redo that a little bit. All right, there we go. I'm gonna have to put another about 20 cc's in. All right, that's it, thanks. Mike's machine's out. Okay, I wanted to do a final overview to close this video out. So we have, you can see the forks are back on, they're back installed. Everything looks nice and clean all the way up. Make sure you clean everything, get all the debris off, because that will just blow your seals out quickly. Okay, as far as having them sit in the, see, I have it just barely showing through the triple tree. Just barely showing. I don't know, you can't see on that side. Let me see. So that way, and then you can put your bike up on something and spin the wheel and make sure it's running, you know, even, that it's not wobbling back and forth. Then one fork would be out of whack from the other one. Okay, so disassembly, or rather assembly, is just the opposite of disassembly. Slide the forks in, tighten up your lower clamp and your upper clamp. And like I said, make sure those are even. When you put your drum brakes back in, make sure you have the speedometer gear facing the correct way, which is facing out towards the outside of the fork. And then that's the washer with the blocks on it, so that it'll attach to the gear and then attach to the hub, so that it'll spin when the wheel spins. Everything else, so again, the fluid was 182 cc's plus or minus 3. So we did 185 in both forks. The forks are pretty tight now. not like they were before. They had no, you can see they're really nice and stiff. So he's gonna enjoy riding this again. And that's about it. Mike Machines out. Any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Thank you.